Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Guys, today we're going to dive into the altcoins. What I want to do is encourage you to take a look at this altcoin with an open mind, okay? I know what you want to hear. Everybody wants to hear that their coin is going to 50x, 100x. I get it. I want to hear that too, okay? But listen to me. I've been through 3 bull markets and I'm now in my 3rd bear market, okay? And I'm not saying I'm always correct, okay? But I know how these things go, okay? We're going to look at the coin from a technical standpoint. How many of you a few weeks ago, as your coin was going up 60, 70, 100%, was listening to the influencers telling you this time is different, super cycle, Bitcoin dominance is headed down, alt season is here, blah, 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 blah. And today your coin is probably down 50%. Okay, don't listen to the noise. Okay, we're going to look from a technical standpoint. Okay, I don't know about your fundamentals of your coin. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. We can't predict what may happen later, what partnerships may come in, what scandals may come up. We can't predict those types of things, but what we can predict and know for a fact are things like tokenomics, circulating supply, technical analysis. Those things don't change. So we can look at it from a technical standpoint and take a realistic approach to what this coin might do. If anything comes later, like some sort of hopium or some sort of deal or some sort of thing like that in the economy with your coin, where it gets worldwide mass adoption, great, that's a bonus. But be prepared for less, okay? Or be prepared for a more realistic target. The biggest mistake I made in my first cycle was listening to everyone else who said that my coin was going to 50, 60x. And as I sat here and watched it 10 and 15x, which was great, I didn't take profit because I was waiting on that 50x because I believed the narrative. And I wound up writing that coin all the way back down and round tripping it, right? I learned from that mistake. If you're not at least open-minded to hearing what a conservative approach would be, then you're only showing your inexperience in this market. So don't be inexperienced. If you are inexperienced, at least try to learn, okay? If I think your coin's going to 100x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 5x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 0, I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know I could get way more clicks by just coming in and shouting 100x, but that's not going to serve you anything good in the future. So let's take a realistic approach to these coins, and we'll see if we can figure out where a good bull market top is going to be. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we go. All right, y'all, taking a look at Akash on the weekly time frame. And y'all, please forgive me. I am from the South, so if I call it Akash, you're just going to have to deal with it. It is what it is. It doesn't change the coin or what I think about it. All right, so I know I said in my little intro to pay attention to the technicals, not the narrative, but I believe it would be a little foolish not to at least identify that this coin does work in the realm of AI, okay? It is not directly AI, but it is related to AI. Do your research on it, but it is a white-hot narrative, so if that narrative continues, we should at least take that into consideration as being a coin that is likely to perform stronger than just the simple technicals. But we're going to look at it from both standpoints. All right, looking at Akash here on the weekly time frame. You set an all-time high price in April of 21 of $8.04. Now, here's what I want you to pay attention to. At that time, you had a market cap of 356 million and a circulating supply of 44 million. Okay, bear market, most recent cycle, 2024, April of 2024. You set a cycle high price of $7. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You actually had a market cap of $1.64 billion, which is about 5 times more than you had at your price all-time high. However, you increased your circulating supply or your total number of coins from 44 million to 234 million, which is why you did 5 times more money in this asset, but did not touch your price all-time high. Okay, we're going to look at market cap and circulating supply in just a minute because it is very relevant. All right, looking at today's price action, you're at 71 cents with a $209 million market cap and a 292 million circulating supply. So you've added coins even since your cycle high. If we look forward into next cycle, and I've kind of estimated that the cycle ends or peaks around Q4 of 2029, Bitcoin topped in 2025, 4-year cycle, you do the math. I understand most altcoins topped in 2024, so perhaps they top a little sooner, and this may be a little different, but it's going to be pretty dang close, and we're going to take a look in a second. So, if you do, then that will mean you will have added about 50% even since last cycle, from 234 to 350 million. So, token dilution, market dilution coming in through token unlocks. Okay, so given that information, your total circulating supply will be 8 times more than at your all-time high, which means your market cap is going to have to go to $2.8 billion for you to reach your all-time high price of $8. $2.8 billion as opposed to $356 million when you first set it over here. Okay. If you just reach the same market cap all-time high, which is $1.64 billion, if you just match what you did last cycle, your price is going to be $4.69 instead of $7. And again, that is from token dilution, adding tokens into the market. Okay, let's go look at how I found that. So we're going to look at the token supply here, and you can see the orange line on the bottom down here. This is where your circulating supply was when you set your price all-time high. Here's where you are now, and then by next cycle, the peak of next cycle, estimated peak, you're going to be up here at 350 million. And that is still an increase from current circulating supply of about 20%. So you still have about 20% to add to it, okay? Now, here's where I really like this coin. Let's go look at market cap. Now, Akash is one of the few coins, believe it or not, that from cycle to cycle, 2 cycles ago to last cycle, has an increase in your market cap. Okay, most coins do not, but this one does. In fact, this one is setting higher highs and higher lows, so it has a very bullish structure on your market cap. Okay, now, what we can do here, let's fib this. You can't fib your price. It does not work. Don't even try it. You can't do it. The reason you can't do it is because you don't have the same circulating supply, nor is it even negligible difference. It is a significant difference. Again, 8 times more. So a fib on price would not work here, but it does work on market cap. So let's throw a fib on it from cycle 1 high to bear market low. And you can see you came up near the 3.618, so a massive increase near the 3.618, okay? Assuming the AI narrative stays hot, we should expect another increase, but how much? Let's go take a look. So we're going to change this fib. We're going to draw it from last cycle's high, market cap, right, to what we have so far in market cap low, all right? And you can see the 3.618 is coming way up here at 5.75 billion. That may be a bit of a reach since you've already done a 3.618 retrace. So I'm thinking we probably will come somewhere between the 1.618 and 2.618 in the next cycle. That is what my prediction is going to be. I'm going to set it at $3 billion, which would be, again, another increase. Let's see if that trend line lines up. I'm not a pattern bro or trend bro, but just let's just see. It's pretty close. I do like it for about a $3 billion market cap. If it does more than that, great. That's just a bonus. But let's assume it does about $3 billion. Somewhere between 1.618 and 2.618 is a common target for bullish assets. So let's go with $3 billion. And if we do a $3 billion market cap, my price prediction is going to be $8.57. Now, that is a pretty good target, a pretty good return from current price. That's about an 12x from current price. But if Bitcoin rolls over in Q4 like it always does, then you might get a shot at these lows. Akash is already up from the lows in February. It had gone up almost 300%, so a heck of a rally. It has retraced a little, but if you can get a pullback with Bitcoin later this year to somewhere around 35 cents, which I do think is a definite possibility for you to retrace back into this area. Let's fib this and see what that would give you on a retrace. Right there around the 786, 35 to 40 cents. I think you have an upside potential shot of $8.57. So from that, let's just say from that 40 cent 786, that's going to give you about a 2,000% return on your investment. I really, really, really like this coin. And I will one better you on this coin. It is not listed on Binance yet. So if you should be fortunate enough to get this coin and they list it on Binance, you could really get a lot more interest in this coin and could go significantly higher. So this is definitely one to keep on my radar. I probably would not be a buyer at 70 cents, even though that's still good upside potential. The only reason I wouldn't be a buyer at 70 cents, the only reason is because I think you're going to get a pullback at some point into Q4 this year. And I would look for more of the 35 to 40 cent region. That is the only reason. This is a good bullish looking structure. Even though you set a lower high in price, it is only due to token dilution here. As you can see, it is not due to market cap, which is bullish. So I do think we keep increased market cap. I think we get a higher price and a new all-time high. I like this coin. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe. I'm going to keep updating this. Regular updates on Akash. Akash. Whatever. It's a bullish freaking coin, and we like it. Subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. Comment below if you want me to take a look at your altcoin. I'll be happy to do so. I'll see you guys next time.